t-shirts that you guys got when you came in tonight. Now, like I said, we are ready to have some fun. Our team is ready to roll, and they are excited. They've been playing hard all preseason and training hard in the offseason to show you guys what they can do. Now, if you guys have never been here before, welcome. We are excited that you guys are here. We are here to serve you guys. We have ushers in every section. If you guys have any questions, feel free to find us, and we'll help you out. Where the food, the beverage, where the bathrooms are, where the merchandise shop is, we are here to serve you. So if you have any questions, let us know, and we are here to help. Now, make sure you guys, I want you guys to try out, you can see on our jerseys here, the new Oculto, the official import beer of the Tulsa Roughnecks. If you guys haven't tried it out yet, go check it out. It is fantastic. It's a nice light beer. It's tequila infused, so it's got a little kick at the end. It's pretty good. Go by the concession stands and check it out and get yourself an Oculto tonight. So make sure you guys stick around. So much fun going on all night long. And after the match, don't leave just yet. Our Roughnecks guys want to meet you and say hello. Come down to the bottom of your sections after tonight's match, and we will actually have the guys come around, and they're going to sign autographs. They're going to come around, say hello, sign some autographs. Then after that, we're having an all-ages after party over at Lefty's on Greenwood. Right over there, right in the corner of Greenwood and Archer, we're having an all-ages after party. They're having specials. We're having $1 off domestic drinks. Plus, they're having $5 Roughneck 83s. Bring the kids over, have some fun. The players will be over there as well, so we want you guys to join us for the official after party. I want to say a big welcome to the Tulsa Roustabouts, the official supporters group of the Roughnecks. Thank you guys for all that you do. If you guys get to hear them all night long, chanting, getting loud, feel free to join in on the fun and learn those chants. TRFC, it doesn't get any easier than that. You guys can join along too. All right, Roughnecks Nation, it's almost that time. Time to get out of your seats, plan to stand that entire night, get loud, and cheer on your Tulsa Roughnecks.
A special welcome to our McDonald's starting 11 team. The Blitz United 0506 will escort the Roughnecks onto the field and stand with them for the national anthem. If your team would like to learn how to participate in the McDonald's starting 11 program for a match during the 2016 season, head up to guest services or call the Roughnecks front office at 574-8317. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to One Oak Field, home of your Tulsa Roughnecks FC. Special thanks goes out to Hillcrest Healthcare System, Two Works for You, and 106.9 K-Hits, our home opener match sponsors. here are the reserves and starting 11 for the visiting Rio Grande Valley FC Toros. Tonight's reserves are Arturo Sanchez, George Malky, Leo Ayala, Todd Wharton, Christian Lucatero, Kyle Murphy, and Juan Carlos Flores. The Rio Grande Valley FC Toros are led by head coach Wilmer Cabrera. And now for the starting 11 for the Rio Grande Valley FC Toros. The goalkeeper is number 1, Devin Perales. Defender number 2, Kevin Garcia. Defender number 3, Taylor Hunter. Defender number 15, Kai Green. Defender number 24, Bradley Bourgeois. Midfielder number 6, Jorginho James. Midfielder number 8, Charlie Ward. Midfielder number 10, Eric Bird. Forward number 7, Mimo Rodriguez. Forward number 9, Zenon Katic. And forward number 17, TJ Kastner. Fans, here are the officials for tonight's match. The referee is Jose Lara. Assistant referees are Roy Robinson and Brooke Weiss. And the fourth official is Michael Kapp. And now here are your Tulsa Roughnecks FC. Tonight's reserves are number 3, Irla Tavarin. Number 7, Henry. Number 8, Taylor Morgan. Number 12, Bulobi. Number 14, Christian Mata. Number 20, Jason Ramos Carpio. Number 21, Mason Grimes. And number 25, Jake Feener. The Roughnecks are led by head coach David Irving, assisted by Tom Taylor, Mac Orr, and Ryan Ego, and joined by athletic trainer Kobe Smith and team doctor, Dr. John E. Ariala. And now for your Tulsa Roughnecks starting 11. The goalkeeper is number 1, Alex Mankos. Defender number 2, Gary Chinarazzo. Defender number 4, Matt Watley. Defender number 6, Anthony Peters. Defender number 13, Raymond Lee. Defender number 24, Brady Ballou. Midfielder number 23, Adriano Pellegrino. Midfielder number 5, David Amador. Midfielder number 11, Carlos Martinez. Forward number 10, Kaleem. And forward number 9, Sammy Ochoa. Ladies and gentlemen, let's now honor America by removing our hat at attention as Roughnecks fans present the big flag at midfield. And now to perform our national anthem, here is Sound Decision.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free, and the home of the brave?
Well, hello everyone, and welcome into Tulsa Roughnecks Soccer here on ESPN 1300 The Buzz, CBS Sports Radio 1300 The Buzz, your new home for CBS Sports in the city of Tulsa. I am Jeremy Poplin, joined by David Saunders as we get set to bring you the 2016 USL regular season, where tonight we have the Tulsa Roughnecks of the home side as they will take on the RGV FC Toros, part of the Houston Dynamo organization. Escorting the Roughnecks onto the pitch tonight for the national anthem was the McDonald's starting 11. If your team would like to learn how to participate in the McDonald's starting 11, you can contact Matt Bishop at 918-574-8318. Well, partner, it is a beautiful night here in the city of Tulsa as we get set to open up the 2016 campaign. And there's a good look on the YouTube feed of this Roughnecks squad that has been put together in place by David Irving and by Tom Taylor and the front office here in the city of Tulsa. Just narrowly missed the playoffs last season, and the expectations are high in 2016 for this Roughnecks side, and they will take on the expansion side, the RGV FC Toros, and we are just a few moments away. Thank you, partner, for joining me one more season. It's exciting. I know we were nervous the entire week leading up to this moment, and kickoff for 2016 is finally here.
And I'm even more nervous now as we're about to kick off, but excited. It's excitement that is what I would say rather than being nervous. It's going to be interesting to see with David's first lineup, which I'm sure you'll give the listeners and the viewers on YouTube, in a minute, Jeremy. But it's going to be interesting to see how they gel. Interesting to me that Sammy Ochoa's been made captain tonight. I noticed he went up to the flip of the coin, and they will be attacking with, well, I was going to say with their fans behind them, but there's yellow shirts all over the place at both ends, and there's a really fantastic scene. We always say it, don't we, when we come to One Oak, but a perfect night for soccer, a fantastic pitch that we were talking about earlier, and a really colourful scene out there.
Absolutely. The Toros in a 4-3-3, and we'll start in the back with Devin Perales, the keeper. Along the back, Kevin Garcia, along with Taylor Hunter, Kai Green, and Bradley Bourgeois, who is the University of Tulsa product. Jorginho James, Charlie Ward, Eric Bird are the midfielders, along with Jose Rodriguez, Kadich, one of the forwards, and also Robert Kastner, one of the forwards as well. And that's the starting 11 for the Toros. For the Roughnecks, we have Alex Mangels making his first start of the season, along with Gary Chinarazzo, Matt Watley, Anthony Peters, and Raymond Lee, David Abador, Brady Ballou, Pellegrino, and Martinez as the midfielders, and Kaleem with Sammy Ochoa up top for the Roughnecks. And we are officially underway. Thank those of you for listening in on the radio broadcast and on YouTube as well. It is a fantastic night here in the city of Tulsa. The official weather forecast for tonight's match is provided by the News on 6 meteorologist Travis Meyer. The kickoff for weather is 73 degrees.
Not bad, is it? Not bad. 73 degrees. As I said, perfect. If you can't play soccer on this wonderful field in this temperature, well, you need to start again, because this is a great night. Here we go then.
Ball played in over the top inside the 18-yard box. Tried to go back towards the penalty area there. Finally cleared away by the Roughnecks up top, looking for Sammy Ochoa. Ochoa tries to shield off of the defender, does so for a moment, and the Roughnecks able to maintain possession. And quickly, they will switch fields to the opposite side as Martinez gives chase. And that ball played down the line, and the Roughnecks will maintain possession here early.
Much different, as we've said, back four, and it'd be interesting to see. All good teams, as I said, are built on a good defence. Peters and Watley at the heart of the defence. Chinaratsu and Lee, exciting right and left backs respectively, who will look to get forward, but at the moment they're having to defend.
Toros with possession here early, electing to play in the back. They will go to the opposite side of the field now, up towards midfield. And a lot of their game will be based on possession here early. Here's a long ball to the near sidelines. Looking for Bourgeois, who pushed forward, and what a fantastic player that Bradley was at the University of Tulsa. He is officially on loan from the Dynamo. As you see there, this is their inaugural season with Wilmer Cabrera, the head coach. Mainly relying on academy players are the Toros, and we'll see what the learning curve is like for them inside of USL with the expanded format. 29 teams now in USL, 30 games this season compared to 28 from last year.
They could be one of those teams, couldn't they, Jeremy? That's an unknown that comes up against, a team that's at the top halfway through the season and goes and gets a result against them, because their team presumably is going to be a little bit different each week, and players will come in and out on loan, and players will move up, so it's going to be an interesting season for them.
Here's Kastner. Kastner turns, looks, that goes back to midfield. Now played centrally. inside the center circle. There's a good turn there from Rodriguez, taken off of the ball. Now played forward. Here's Martinez. Martinez dumps to the outside and unable to save that in enough time. And this will be a throw-in now for the Toros as Bourgeois gets set to play this one. And Mangles comes off of his line. Shielding away there was the big central defender, Anthony Peters, who we will have much, much more on throughout the broadcast. What an impressive individual he is, and he is a legit threat when he moves forward.
Abidor is the player that's sitting deepest in front of the back four, allowing Martinez and Pellegrino to play above him.
Martinez dispossessed there. Here's Katic. Now they'll play to the outside. Chinnarazzo pacing along the way, along with Baloo. Most of the possession so far has been in favor of the Toros. Sammy Ochoa tries to collect that one with the chest. Here comes the Roughnecks. Pellegrino will dump this one towards the corner. Ochoa giving chase. Defender got there just in time. Now into the center circle. And we'll dump this one past Chinnarazzo and unable to get there in enough time. And a throw-in now for the Roughnecks on the opposite side of the field.
Yeah, Rio Grande are enjoying the lion's share of possession in this first few minutes, coming up for 5 minutes played, but so far so good. Mangles has got a touch of the ball in the Roughnecks goal, so pretty good. Baloo hasn't been able to get on the ball on that right-hand side. They want to get the ball to his feet sooner rather than later. Gets a tackle in there.
Taylor Hunter. This will result in a throw-in now for Rio Grande Valley. 11-11-6 last season for the Roughnecks, but it was that magical stretch towards the end of the year where they went 7-3-3 to really put themselves in a position to fight for the playoffs. Eric Bird played towards the center circle. Bourgeois out wide, and they fit the ball in over the top, but too much pace on that one as it comes off the boot. And a throw-in now for Raymond Lee, one of the defensive signees that was just announced by the Roughnecks. Martinez, who spent last season in Sacramento, finds Pellegrino. There's Kaleem taken off of the ball by the defender. Kaleem also timed last season in Sacramento, the captain for the men's Pakistani national team.
So reading about Katic there, the number 9 up front. Quite a story there for the Bosnian. You know, had to go through as a young kid the worn-torn Bosnia, and his father said enough's enough, we'll come over and start our life in the States. And he never really looked back with his soccer. He was player of the year in his first season and went from strength to strength. A really wonderful story.
Absolutely. NAIA player of the year was Jenin.
We hope he has a quiet night tonight, of course, shackled by Messrs. Watley and Peters at the heart of the Roughnecks defense.
Bourgeois, Peters let that one go. Little tangled mess there for a moment. Had his arms locked around. The referee's assistance flag is up. This will be a throw-in now for Rio Grande Valley.
Isn't it wonderful to see those flags over there pop to our right? All the countries that are represented by a Roughnecks player. We've got the Ivory Coast flag and the Welsh flag, the English flag, Pakistani flag there, Ivory Coast, Irish, Australian, of course, along with the Mexican flag, and Guam, of course, with Mason Grimes is not here tonight.
Here's Bird with the square ball to the opposite side of the field. The defenders surround for the Roughnecks, and Rio Grande Valley still comes away with possession. Katic with a nice dump back, and now along that back defensive line. Quick turn here from Charlie Ward. Ward now with his head up, looking, dumps it off. Now back to Ward one more time. Good ball played into the center. Able to show great footwork in the middle. Dumps it to the outside before the byline to Bourgeois. Bourgeois plays this one off of Kaleem, and this will result in a corner now for Rio Grande Valley.
Bradley Bourgeois has been described affectionately as an athletic freak because of his physique. He just runs all the time, and he's going to be ideal for them, isn't he, on that right-hand side, you know, the TU graduate. So he won the corner.
Here's Rodriguez on the service towards the penalty area. That one headed away. Kaleem comes back to knock Bourgeois off the ball for a moment. Sammy back to help on defense as well. Long cross to the opposite side. This will skip over the top, and the Toros now will have to build back up through a bit of possession. Now in the offensive third. Little give and go back to the outside on the far touchline. Ball played in, and quickly there you saw the height of one Anthony Peters to knock that one away. Here's Baloo, his first solid touch on the ball. Back to Chinnerazzo. Chinnerazzo trying to link up with Sammy Ochoa, unable to do so, just past the midway point. And the Toros now.
Roughnecks are really having to sit deep and soak up the pressure here, and they mustn't give the ball away. If they can get Sammy Ochoa to hold it up, there's a shot coming in, hits the bar.
Boy, off the crossbar as Mangles was tested from outside, and the Roughnecks survive here early in the 9th minute, and this ball is out of bounds, and now a deep throw in now as the Toros continue to provide the pressure, and what a blast from range that was from Kadich.
Wonderful strike from Kadich, showing what he can do. Mangles beaten, but fortunately the bar comes to the rescue.
Bourgeois with the throw. Not much of a clearance at all. Teed up for a moment. Another one off the top of the crossbar, and this one skips away. And this will result in another corner. I believe that one came off of the defender. It caught Mangles in an awkward spot, as we will see the replay on the YouTube feed of the first shot from Kadich that ricocheted off the top of the crossbar.
Yeah, Mangles wasn't too far away from that one, to be fair to him. The second one was from Rodriguez, and there was a touch off the defender.
Here's the service coming in towards the front post. It was a run by Eric Bird, who got a piece of it on the head and turned away one more time. And the Roughnecks now fortunate here in the first 10 minutes of play to come away unscathed, Dave Saunders.
Well, you use the word fortunate, and you're absolutely right, because they are. Because any time a team hits the woodwork, you know, defending team has been let off, hasn't it? Because it's been just a couple of inches too high. But, you know, if you think about last season, we won't keep mentioning last season, but they had some very bad luck here at One Oak Field. So it's nice to get a bit of luck, and it remains 0-0.
Now Rio Grande Valley one more time from the back end. Have been very impressed with the way that they have had their build-up so far here in the first 11 minutes of this 2016 opener.
So is Rio Grande, excuse my ignorance, one of the shorter trips? I mean, is that...
That will be actually one of the more lengthy trips for a team that is within this region.
Right.
This is an easy one for Mangles.
As you say, down on the border of Mexico. So
just right across. By the way, on the basketball side, OU, University of Oklahoma, has just knocked off Oregon. They're headed to their first Final Four since 2002, an 80-68 victory.
Very impressive.
There's a foul on the opposite end. That one will go against the Roughnecks here inside the 12th minute.
Again, we say it's a wonderful sight. The crowd are having to be patient here because the Roughnecks are having to defend, as I've said before in the commentary, but a wonderful sight with people on the lawns over there and families in. It really is a great family atmosphere, and the crowd just waiting for the first real chance for the Roughnecks.
Here's a throw-in that's settled and knocked away there by Watley, the defender in his first year for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Bourgeois has been cheating here to the outside a number of times, and Lee has had to keep his eye on him. They've tried to test him over the top a number of times, and you mentioned being able to use that freakish athletic ability. That is someone the Roughnecks will have to keep an eye on the entire match.
Can play centre back as well, and I've seen him score goals, you know, up from the corners for headers, so he's a good all-round player.
Bourgeois one more time. Nice run through there by Rodriguez.
I think in a situation like this, when you're having to defend and they're doing it very well, the men in orange, they just need to put 2 or 3 passes together. And we haven't seen that as yet.
There's a clearance there by Abador, all the way up past midfield, and the defender there did not get as much on it as he wanted to, and Perales had to come all the way out of his box to clear that one away as Sammy Ochoa was providing high pressure. Of course, Sammy last season, 22 starts, 9 goals for Ochoa on 49 shots. Look at Chinaratsu is trying to go down the line for Brady Ballou on the throw-in, and this will result in a goal kick here in the 14th minute.
And I think not only is it a great footballer, but he needs to be mine and yours fashion guru. The way he came in tonight, Pop, when we saw him, Sammy Ochoa down there looking very sharp, wasn't he, ready for the first game?
He was looking very svelte in all black. Had the black tie on. Dump this one back to Perales as he boots this one forward all the way back to the defense of the Roughnecks. Nice touch there from Abador, finds Pellegrino. Pellegrino on the ball through to Ochoa. Ochoa tries to turn to the inside, was not able to get much on it with the left foot. And Perales has the easy collection.
But that was positive, wasn't it? Sammy Ochoa, we know him well now. He will pull away from one defender. He goes onto the shoulder of the other one, and Pellegrino found him. And his first touch, he took it inside when maybe, possibly he could have gone outside if he had that play again. But that's positive signs. Pellegrino finding Sammy Ochoa. That's going to be important this season.
And it was all created at the back by Abador, who spent last season in Sweden. Played his college ball at Dayton and Creighton. Helped Creighton to their first ever Big East title in his 1 year at Creighton.
And he really is sitting very, very deep there, the number 5. And he's trying to pick up the ball in front of the back four. That's a great ball.
Pellegrino forward to Ochoa. Ochoa with a nice service to Martinez, but look at the speed of Bourgeois to get back on the help defense to shield off Martinez, and now a throw in for the Roughnecks. Here's Abador one more time to Martinez. A little give and go with Abador, knocked away from him. Can Pellegrino win it? He does at midfield. Poor ball trying to look to the opposite side for Brady Ballou, and here come the Toros. Nice footwork there from Kastner. Cuts towards the inside, had a man that was there running just on the outside of the arc. Knocked away, and Perales has it, and quickly they go to the outside.
Yeah, Kastner's tricky, isn't he? The blonde-haired guy on the left-hand side, but he does cut inside, and then the left back comes up and does the overlapping runs with him. So he's a tricky customer, but again, as I keep saying, so far so good. 15 minutes gone, 0-0. The Roughnecks soaking up the pressure, and now they have a free kick a couple of yards inside the Rio Grande half. Chance for some of the big players to get forward.
That foul on Jorginho James. Pellegrino will be the man here. There's a two-man wall in front. Referee says we need you to take a few steps back. Pellegrino with the service. One of the Roughnecks players fell down, and on the opposite side, it was a good run.
I think it was Abidor who went to ground.
Abador fell down, and almost getting to it there was Anthony Peters.
And then one of the Rio Grande players gets the ball into his face, which the referee's stopping play for. We should say as well, Jeremy, there's rivals down the road, OKC, 0-0 at the moment with Colorado Springs switchback after 11 minutes. And that's a repeat, isn't it, of the semi-final, isn't it?
Yes.
Where they went head-to-head, and I think I'm right in saying OKC won on penalties, didn't they? Or have I got that completely wrong?
You are correct.
So that's going to be a rival. It's what Brian Carroll was talking about earlier on, and that's going to be great to play them, isn't it? And Swope Park Rangers and St. Louis, you know, so some rivalries building up this season for the Roughnecks.
That's Kadich that is down. You talked about his story and about having to leave his war-torn home country, and he came in and was absolutely amazing inside the NAIA, and he's an extremely explosive player. Hope that he's okay. It looked like that he's pointing right there, right in the area of his temple. I don't know whether he caught an elbow there or not, but he will take his time as the training staff out to make sure that he is okay.
I have to say, I just thought it was a ball in the face. I didn't see anybody around him in an orange shirt, so I thought it was just ball in the face. But sensible refereeing, and these days, you know, you have to stop the game now if there's anything to do with the head injury, of course. And he looks okay. He's just wiping a bit of blood away, and I think once that's dried up, he'll be ready to get on and get stuck in again up front in the front line for Rio Grande. 0-0 though. 17.5 minutes gone.
Admiral Sportswear is the official sportswear provider of the Tulsa Roughnecks FC. In addition to the official team kits, also look for the other Admiral products at One Oak Field. There's a foul from behind, and, well, no whistle there. I thought for sure that we would hear a whistle, but the Roughnecks will take advantage of it on the quick throw in. Here's Ochoa, a little give and go with Brady Ballou. Ballou to the inside of Martinez. Martinez just couldn't get a piece of it. It finds its way to Brady. Brady decides to unload one from outside the 18. Not much on it, and easy there for Perales.
But you see the difference there as soon as Brady Ballou gets on the ball. That was good play from the Roughnecks, one of their better attacks, and they were trying to shift it from right to left, and possibly Brady, again, having a shot there, which ended up easy for the keeper, possibly could have gone left to our friend Kaleem, who's playing wide on the left.
Here's Brady. Abador now to the outside, finds Lee. Lee has several options. Goes forward for Martinez. Martinez with his back to the goal has 3 defenders around him. Lee now tries to play it off of one of the defenders. It's knocked away there, and Rio Grande Valley, along with Bourgeois, will keep the possession here at midfield. Knocked away by Pellegrino. Little pesky Pellegrino as he knocks forward to Ochoa. Thought that one might trickle through for a moment. It does not. And the Toros now will play this out of bounds in front of their own bench. And a throw-in now for Roughnecks.
Pellegrino not afraid to get stuck in there. I think the lad from Rio Grande thought, what on earth is that coming over my shoulder? And it was Pellegrino getting stuck in, so he's going to do that, as we said in the build-up this season. A bit of steel in the central midfield for the Roughnecks.
Here's Brady Ballou, who was one of the candidates for Rookie of the Year last season in the USL. Came up a bit short. Good bit of defending there from the Roughnecks. Pellegrino from midfield, trying to link up with Kaleem. Kaleem now fighting with Bourgeois. Martinez over to help, finds Lee. Lee to the outside touchline for Kaleem.
Last 5 minutes, the Roughnecks have enjoyed more possession of the football.
Kaleem dispossessed of that ball as he tried to split 2 defenders, unable to do so. Bourgeois. Dribbling through the center was Charlie Ward as they look to move forward now. There's Eric Bird to the outside for Kastner. Kastner has been a thorn in the side, showing a lot of speed as well. Bird with the one touch, back to the outside. Kastner from the 18 tried to slip it in behind Wadley. Wadley did a great job of maintaining his space. Forward for Ballou, or from Ballou to Ochoa. And the referee was going to wait to see if they could play advantage before he came up with the whistle. And the Roughnecks now from just the opposite side of the midfield stripe, as we see Pellegrino there. Spent last season in Thailand. Also some time in Greece. He was the 2009 most glorious player there inside the Australian A-League was Pellegrino. Kastner drafted 3rd round of the 2016 Super Draft. Ball played inside the box, not much on it on the header.
Was Watley up there, wasn't it, the Welshman? And he just got a header on it, but it was one of those where it kind of glanced off his head rather than him getting a full, powerful header there. But good signs, good ball in from Pellegrino.
And a little bit more offensive threat that we've seen in the last few moments from the Roughnecks. Here's Lee working with Martinez. Martinez thought about going forward, pulls it back to Peters. Peters now. Abador. Miscommunication between Ballou and Abador. And Rio Grande Valley now with options from the 18. Cuts back in.
Well, they certainly crowded out the Rio Grande attack there, did the Roughnecks players. And that was just nearly a great ball to Brady Ballou, just a couple of yards too far inside.
Kai Green got there just in the nick of time in front of Ballou. Good work and good use of the chest there from the veteran Peters. All the way back to Mangles. Forward for Ochoa.
The wheel is turning slowly, isn't it? They've soaked up the pressure for the first 15 minutes. That's an offside. And the Roughnecks are starting to put those passes together that I was alluding to earlier, Jeremy. And they're enjoying it a little bit more now.
It was a shaky first 10 minutes. We will both admit that.
But in control. I think, you know, okay, they've hit the bar a couple of times. It's a great
Good ball over the top by, and the assistance flag up on the opposite side. Abidor with a good look, though, looking for that run from Ochoa.
Anybody, again, new to the game of soccer or new to the new rules, the linesman, or I should say the assistant referee, old school linesman, has to wait until the player becomes active. That means if a player is offside when the ball's played, as Sammy Ochoa was, the linesman won't put his flag up until he becomes active and he plays the ball. So that's the new law. It's supposed to favour the attacking teams.
The former Austin Aztec, Perales, sends forward, and now the Roughnecks trying to link up with Ballou. And you're starting to sense a bit more runs as well in combination with balls played in from the back for Tulsa. There's Garcia.
There's Bourgeois.
Kastner, Bourgeois to the outside. Lee lost track of him. Bourgeois able to track it down, slips there on the surface for a moment. That off of the deflection and cleared away by Peters. And this one will trickle over the touchline for a throw-in.
Well, it's partly Raymond Lee, isn't it, at left back, but it's also he's got to be helped out by Kaleem there, who's playing wide on the left with the Bourgeois runs that I'm alluding to. He's got to help out his left back a little bit.
Speaking of Bourgeois, back towards the touchline and towards the midfield line. It's a good turn. Here's Bourgeois one more time. Service in towards the penalty area. Knocked down there. It's Kadich. Kadich turns, fires, and just misses over the outstretched arms of Mangles.
You could see again Bradley Bourgeois there coming up from right back, and he gets in between the Roughnecks, number 10 Kaleem, and then he takes on the left back Raymond Lee. And as I said before, whenever Bourgeois comes forward, and it's going to be hard for the young man to do, but Kaleem has got to track the runs with him. He's on his own out there on the right-hand side a lot of the time.
Charlie Ward was begging for service there from Kadich. He was camped up right on the 18-yard line. And Kadich had a good look himself, but Ward was desperately calling for the ball as we go to the opposite end. A throw in the offensive third now as we are in the 26th minute, still scoreless here at One Oak Field.
David Abidor is an important player in this formation, isn't he? As we've said, the deep holding midfield player, but he's breaking up their attacks and trying to get the ball through to the other midfield players in the Roughneck shirts. Done it very well so far.
Garcia swings it to the outside. Pellegrino steps in front of that Kastner pass. Working with Ballou, there's Chinarazzo. Good ball there, played in from Sammy Ochoa as we saw the run coming in. That was Chinarazzo all the way up from his back defensive line. And Ochoa, that's just a good veteran play there to try to set things up with the header.
And there's the importance of an attacking right back. Chinarazzo there, the right back, got all the way into the box. He was the furthest forward when Sammy Ochoa flicked that ball on. And it's the Roughnecks' first corner, which is going to be taken by Adriano Pellegrino.
There's a run short. This one comes flying in. Just missed the opportunity there from Peters. And a great service in. Oh, and a touch directly at Perales. I'm not exactly sure how much Kaleem got of that ball, if he got any.
Yeah, I would say he didn't get any, but he was outstretched there. But just before that, there was a chance for Anthony Peters, who's in the thick of it. Again, just didn't quite get enough on it. But the tide has changed somewhat now. The home side, the Roughnecks, are really getting control of this ball, and we're starting to see a little bit more goal action.
Don't forget, you can keep up to date with the USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams. Great to have everyone back. Fantastic to have USL Soccer back this season. Here's Lee from the outside. Settle there from the middle from Kaleem. Plays it back. Martinez had to go. The defender steps in front. And off of the deflection, here comes Rio Grande Valley. Good defending there from Chinarazzo to knock Kastner off the ball. Now Ballou working with Abador. Back to Watley. And that is more great possession from the Roughnecks. Over the top for Ochoa. Was able to sneak in behind the defender. And the defender pops this one up in the air for Perales, who has it now, and he'll wait for a moment.
Yep, Sammy Ochoa getting in behind the central defenders there, which is always a good sign. The keeper nearly made a mess of that, as well as Kaleem stole in there.
Here's Kastner. Kastner cuts to the inside towards the 18. Has a man there. Miscommunication between the two. That was Kadich. Ball still free in the midfield. One there. Martinez harassing Eric Bird.
Good
and now
again.
Garcia.
Good defending again from the Roughnecks.
From midfield, the Toros. Rodriguez. Abador did his best. Comes to Bourgeois. Square ball to the opposite side of the field, now played centrally, and we have a foul here at the center of the pitch, and our yellow card has been administered to Abador, and we have our first booking of the 2016 season.
Yeah, Abador just a little bit slightly late. I mean, a few years ago, I've often said this from this privileged position, a few years ago, that would have been play on, lads, everything's fair. But these days, if you slightly jump in, you're slightly late, and there's a long leg, you know, that hits the player, then the referee will produce the yellow card. And Abador now has to play, you know, 60 minutes of this game on a yellow card. But I don't mind that too much. He got stuck in. He wasn't trying to break someone's leg. He was just, you know, trying to produce a good tackle. But what it is a 30-yard free kick, dead central, and one for Mangles and the men in orange to keep out.
That's Ward and Rodriguez. You mentioned dead center. Mangles has already had two go off the crossbar this evening. Booked inside the 30th minute. Step over and a shot, and just to the opposite side of the post.
Great work again from our cameraman there. I've just seen two angles of it, and it was just wide of that right upright. The Roughnecks survive, and they've survived twice off the crossbar. That one just wide, no save for Mangles to make there, and all the players move towards the center of the field for this goal kick from Alex Mangles, who is wearing that wonderfully bright yellow shirt and shorts.
With the new official jersey sponsor, the Roughnecks, on it, Acolto. Tell you more about Acolto coming up here in just a moment. The kits were unveiled this Wednesday here at One Oak Field. Abador working with that yellow. It's a nice win there, forward for Lee. Now Lee's got pressure coming from behind, finds Ochoa. Ochoa turns, looks to the outside, has Brady Ballou. Chinarazzo, the overlapping run on the outside. Ballou turns, looks, plays centrally, and headed away. But the Roughnecks now with Abador still have possession, then taken off of the ball, and that will be a foul.
Well, Mr. Kadich is protesting his innocence there, but again, I think, you know, as soon as you're in any way physical these days, you know, and you don't time it so you get to the ball, it's going to be a free kick, and so players need to sort of just stop raising their eyebrows and let the referee call it, because it's going to happen both ways. And we've got our free kick specialist, Mr. Pellegrino, number 23, over the ball. Is he going to have a go from here, Pop?
The 2003 FIFA World Youth Championship player, Pellegrino, towards the backside, looking for Peters. And somehow that one finds its way in.
Well, David Abador is going to take the plaudits there. I think his shot was just deflected home. There was a player on the ground with a head injury, and the Rio Grande players are saying, you know, why didn't you stop the game if there was a player down? But the Roughnecks, to be fair to them, couldn't see that player, and the shot came in, and I think it was, as I say, Abador had the shot, and he opens the scoring, and it's 1-0 to the Roughnecks.
That was a ball from Pellegrino that was trying to go to the backside to find Anthony Peters. who was coming up off the back line to try to get a piece on the header. And it trickled its way back to Abador. And that ball found its way in the back of the net. And the Roughnecks have scored in the 33rd minute. And the first goal of the 2016 campaign goes to number 5, David Abador, who spent last year in Sweden, trained last season in Tulsa, and with the Monarchs.
And you don't want to see a player hurt, and the lad's okay, by the way, the Rio Grande defender. But there was the big physical presence, Anthony Peters, who went for the ball. He was looking at the ball. There was no question he was looking at the defender to try and hurt him. And his physical presence, Pop, was what really made that goal. And the ball fell loose, and there's Abidor to hit it, and it came off a defender, I think.
Great camera work there by our crew to give us an exact look at what happened. And you're exactly right, Dave Saunders. The defender was down. Abador played the ball. It bounced off of his head, and there's absolutely nothing that Perales could do in that moment as it went to the far corner. And the Roughnecks will take advantage of it. The goal in the 33rd minute comes from David Abador as we open up the 2016 campaign.
And the defender had to leave the field because it was a head injury. He's back on now, but certainly the coach there, Mr. Cabrera, was certainly questioning the fourth official on why wasn't the game stopped. I think it's a difficult one for the referee because the ball was in play. It wasn't an obvious head injury. I think, I'll just go back to you for the play, Pop.
There's a ball trying to find Brady Ballou, shielded off by the defender.
Difficult one for the referee that,
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's blatant, heads, two players go in and you've got to stop the game right away. But no blame attached to the Roughnecks there. They had to play on.
Chinnarazzo and Pellegrino battling for that ball there. This will be a foul against the Roughnecks.
And from a long way away, they look like twins, don't they?
They almost do from our broadcast position. Pellegrino now went to the ground for a moment here. We'll see if he is okay.
Both of them competitive players. I was reading up on Chinnarazzo, and he was alongside playing football in Scotland, was one of the guards at a young offenders place. So he's had an interesting time. He's come over here to play his soccer, and his grandfather played for Glasgow Rangers.
Yes, back in the 50s he did.
And he was saying what an inspiration he is when he opens up the scrapbook and sees all those things of his granddad. And his granddad played with one Alex Ferguson as well, the former Manchester United manager.
Here are the Toros. Ball played centrally. Turning look there. Rodriguez had that one knocked away from him. Martinez, not enough time to get a good touch on that for the Roughnecks. And now Rio Grande Valley with plenty of time and space. Back to Kai Green. Rodriguez, Bourgeois showing to the outside. Rodriguez will turn back towards the middle. Knocked away there by Pellegrino to Kaleem. Dangerous pass on the inside, but Lee comes away with it. Pellegrino showing to the outside is Chinnarazzo. And a foul on the opposite side of the field as Ochoa has to pick himself up off the turf. For our viewers, Sammy Ochoa, the leading goal scorer for the Roughnecks last season, came in incredible shape so far.
And as you can see there on his left arm, the captain's armband. So, that's great for him, isn't it, Sammy Ochoa? Let's hope he gets off to a really good start this season, gets the goals early.
9 goals last season, 49 shots, 29 of those on goal. He was named one of the USL forwards to watch. You can keep up to date with USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams. Oh, and what a blast from Sammy Ochoa, who we were just talking about, and missed a golden opportunity. What a rocket off the pink boots.
I would suggest to you that was no more than the yard over the bar. He's just clapping his hands because he thought he could have done better there in those pink boots, but he didn't have long. He didn't have long, and there's the stat there, 29 shots on goal last season, and didn't have long there to pull the trigger, but it's just over the bar.
Here in the 38th minute with the Roughnecks leading 1-0 off the goal from David Abador. from midfield. Here's Bird. Knocked off the ball there. Pellegrino had it for a brief moment. Back to the foot of Bird. Bird now to the opposite side, looking for Kastner. Generazzo was there for the easy play back to Mangles. Mangles has been tested here early, especially in the opening 10 minutes from Cal Berkeley. Is Mangles. Generazzo up, and now got to get it back because Kastner has been a threat to the outside. Here's Kastner dribbling at an angle towards the 18 corner. Slips it back to the inside towards the penalty area, but Peters is there in front of Kadich to keep away the scoring threat.
Yeah, Peters with a great tackle there. And head to your local Green Country Chevy dealer and take home the new face of Strong. The 2016 Silverado 1500.
Good look at Mr. Peters. 6'6" is Peters. To the opposite end quickly. Here's Pellegrino. Brady Ballou was calling for it. Dumps to the outside towards the byline, and the defender cuts off Brady. And that one somehow stays in. Bit unlucky there for Brady Ballou on the opposite end, but look at Pellegrino. Adriano with the ball, the service inside. Bourgeois played that one directly in the air, still loose around, and the header from Sammy Ochoa to Perales.
Two things I would say about Pellegrino. He gives you that combative,
The constant push and drive.
Drive all over the field. He took that to the right-hand side. He's a central midfield player, but he's going to give you that all over the field this season. And I think that's a great signing.
There's a dangerous opportunity gone by the wayside for Rio Grande Valley.
I think that's what a good defense does, isn't it? You've got the back four there, you've got Abidor sat just in front, and then you force the other team who've had a lot of possession, they get more frustrated and they hit shots like that, Pop, which Mangles no trouble with that whatsoever, no save to make.
That was Rodriguez who had some space in front of him. Forward now from Alex. Here's Bird. To Kastner. Try to go 1v1, slips and falls. Still almost comes away with it on the foot of Bird. And the deflection, but Rodriguez now.
Good block there from Watley, helping out his fellow British player there, wasn't he? Generazzo. And then Watley just getting a strong challenge in. And further good news is that Martin Mabin has got the lead for the Colorado Switchbacks down the turnpike at Taft Stadium. They lead 1-0.
Court Furniture has played a key role in making the Roughnecks players feel at home in Tulsa. Court Furniture, there when you need it and gone when you don't. Jeremy Poplin and Dave Saunders with you inside the Bank of Oklahoma broadcast booth here at One Oak Field. Roughnecks leading 1-0 in the 42nd minute. Rio Grande Valley has had their opportunities, though. Build up from the back from Rio Grande Valley. Inside the center circle. Bourgeois calling for it here towards the touchline. Almost knocked away there from Pellegrino. To Rodriguez. And that shot goes by the wayside.
Isn't it wonderful, to see the atmosphere here, the families out, the great crowd here at One Oak, Pop, and also to say that the next two games are here and they're a week apart. So it's good for everyone, isn't it? 3 home games to get us underway, and then the fourth game is even up the road, as you would say, in inverted commas, in St. Louis. So a good schedule to start with, isn't it?
There's a good shot on the YouTube stream of downtown Tulsa here from One Oak Field, with the Roughnecks leading. Martinez almost able to sneak in there and take that one away. Kadich finds Kastner. Kastner had a run. Back towards the middle of the field. Lee out to Bourgeois. Bourgeois one time. And knocked out of there by Peters. And over the top is Ochoa now working against Hunter.
Showed his strength there, held off the defender really well, Sammy Ochoa.
Generazzo.
That's okay to go back in that situation.
Ochoa shielding off, and Sammy with the left. Oh my goodness. Another one over the top of the crossbar.
Sammy Ochoa showing that he's getting in between those two central defenders. He just snapped at that one a little bit. It was on his less favored left foot, but you know, he's not far away from a goal, is he? On this form, he's sharp, he's hungry, and it's not far away. But that one he just snapped at and it sliced off his foot and went well wide of the target in the end.
And a great ball forward from Mangles to give Sammy that chance. Here's Kaleem with Lee. Lee battling, and that will be a foul against Rodriguez. Here in the 44th minute, we'll get a look on the replay of this Sammy Ochoa, and watch this with the left.
Well, I wonder if anybody in an orange shirt shouted, "Time, Sammy, you got time," because he had a little bit more time than he thought there, Pop. Could have brought it down, taken another touch. Maybe. Easy to say from up here. Wow.
Boy, referee.
Well, you don't see many of those given, but Bourgeois certainly ran over the top of the player.
And the referee immediately behind the play was waving that one off. And Kaleem ran over from behind by Bourgeois.
Well, yeah, you don't see many of those given for whatever reason, but there's certainly an arm in the back there, and Kaleem didn't flop. He went down heavily.
Oh, here's Kastner. Kastner with the nice stop, pulls back. Looking there for Bird, back to Kastner. Mangles with the stop, and back out off the rebound, and Mangles has it as he protects the near post. But they will have a corner now coming up.
Yeah, correct.
And off of the deflection, Mangles did everything that he could because Rodriguez was there in the right place at the right time.
Well done, Alex Mangles. That's a brilliant double save and a correct decision from the assistant referee as well. We could see that, Pop. That was a corner.
Rodriguez on the service, played in. Oh, not much on that header. That was a dangerous opportunity. But Mangles has it and protects this 1-0 lead for the Roughnecks.
Well, brilliant double save from Mangles. He was up very, very quickly after the first original save, sprawling away to his left-hand side. He had to get up quickly, and he literally smothered the danger. Just went over the line, but who cares? It's a great double stop from the young man. Well done to him. The only other thing I would say is that there was a bit of an inquest with the corner. Anthony Peters was asking whose man was it. I think it was the lad up from the back who had the free header from the resulting corner. But again, Roughnecks got away with it.
Foul there on Pellegrino. Put a shoulder in.
I think we're going to see a few of those this season. He's just that kind of player, isn't he? He's going to get stuck in.
We have 2 minutes of stoppage time that has been added. And that will be a foul from the corner. That's going to be on Bird.
Yeah, on Abidor, wasn't it? He just put his arm around him. But I think, you know, Pellegrino, he's going to be in there. He's going to be in the thick of it. I'm sure he's not afraid to say a word or two. He's bringing experience and steel to that central midfield. He's a great player, and I think he's just going to run all day long for you. And there, Pop, is a half-time whistle.
And that will do it for our first half. The Roughnecks on the goal in the 33 minute from David Abidor have the 1-0 lead here at One Oak Field. And sometimes it pays to have Lady Luck on your side, and that's exactly what that goal was there at the 33rd minute, Dave Saunders, and the Roughnecks will take it.
Yeah, they, you know, there were two shots that were against their own bar, and then sort of half an hour later, you know, the referee's just discussing it now with the coaches about the head injury. You know, I think the referee did the right thing. He couldn't really stop the game because it wasn't in the thick of it, as it were. Roughnecks played on as they're entitled to. Ball came off the from the Abador shot off a defender, and they get a slice of luck, and it means they lead at halftime by 1-0.
Bacolto is the new official jersey sponsor of your Tulsa Roughnecks, infused with blue agave and citrus flavor and blended with lager-aged tequila barrel staves. Bacolto delivers a distinctive taste experience unlike any other beer. Bacolto 25-ounce man cans are available now at One Oak Field, and I have to say, that logo looks spectacular on the front of the new kits for the Tulsa Roughnecks. It is 1-0 at half, with the Roughnecks leading from the Bank of Oklahoma broadcast booth. We'll take a timeout and come back with our thoughts on the first half. Coming up next, here on your home for the Roughnecks, your new home for CBS Sports, AM 1300, The Buzz.
Become a fan of the USL on Facebook and follow on Twitter for league news, interactive content, and a chance to win exclusive giveaways. And remember that all USL regular season and playoff games are available live, free, and in HD on YouTube. Connect with the USL on YouTube today. Visit the new USLsoccer.com. Get the latest news, live stats, and check out the new social media hub. That's USLsoccer.com. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield as we take time to say thank you to tonight's sponsor, Hillcrest Healthcare System. Hillcrest is not only the official medical provider of your Tulsa Roughnecks FC, it also serves as the presenting sponsor of the Roughnecks 2016 season here at One Oak Field. Presenting tonight's sponsor gift is Roughnecks Vice President of Marketing, Rob Gardenhire. Please join us in thanking tonight's sponsors, Representative, President, and CEO of Hillcrest Healthcare System, Kevin Gross. Let's get a big round of applause for Hillcrest Healthcare System. Fans, it's now time for the Bank of Oklahoma Kick for Cash. Justin, who are tonight's contestants?
All right, Jace, we got some good ones out here tonight. On the far end, closest to the Budweiser Terrace, I got Aaron over here. Let's hear it for Aaron. He's ready to rock and roll. And closest to the roustabouts, I got playing the Bank of Oklahoma Kick for Cash. Whoever scores the most goals in 30 seconds is going to win $50 cash, courtesy of the Bank of Oklahoma. Then whoever does that is going to have a chance at either the big goal for $100 or the small goal for an additional $200. All right, Roughnecks Nation, are you guys ready? Aaron, are you ready? Ethan, are you ready? On your mark, get set, go! And they're off. The first one's a little wide over there. Both are 0 for 0. We got nothing so far. We got Ethan's got one. Come on, Aaron. Aaron's got one. Ethan, that was a rocket. That's 2 to 1. All right, time is short. 2 to 2. We got one more, 3 to 2. It's 3 to 3, but Ethan got it in quicker. Ethan, come on over here, my man. You won $50, courtesy of Bank of Oklahoma. Now the big question here. From here, do we want to go for the big goal for only $100, or do we want to go for the small goal for $200? What do you think?
A small goal.
We're going for the small goal for $200. All right, Tyson, throw that in there. All right, Ethan. No pressure. $200 right from here into that small goal right here. Roughnecks Nation, let's hear it for him. All right, Ethan, whenever you're ready, my man, here we go. And the kick, it's looking good. It's turning, it's turning. Oh, my goodness. Just an inch to the right. Ethan, great job, my man. We got $50 for you, courtesy of the Bank of Oklahoma in the Bank of Oklahoma Kick for Cash. Let's give it up for Ethan, everyone, right here. Great job, my man. Aaron, you did great as well. Thank you guys so much.
Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow @Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Let's send it down to Justin once again for all the details for opening night festivities. What you got for us, Justin?
Yeah, that's right, Jace. Roughnecks Nation, do not leave right after tonight's game. We got a lot more going on. Our Roughnecks guys want to come around and say hello. So make sure you guys stick around. Come to the bottom of the sections, and they're going to come around and say hello and sign some autographs. So make sure you guys stick around for that. Plus, we're going to bring the Roustabouts out, and we're going to call the Roustabouts Man of the Match, the first man of the match for 2016. Plus, afterwards, we're going to invite everyone over to Lefties on Greenwood. At the corner of Greenwood and Archer, it's an all-ages after party. They got specials going on. It's $1 off all domestic drinks, plus Roughneck 83s are only $5. So come on over. The guys are going to come over and hang out with us after, and be sure to join us for the official after party over at Lefties on Greenwood. And don't forget, next Saturday, your Roughnecks are home again. We have a fireworks show going on. It's our first post-match fireworks show of the year. So get here and get your tickets for that. And don't forget, gates are going to open early. It's a 5:30 gates again. We have our first McDonald's skills clinic. Get here early. Kids 4 to 12 with a ticket can come down on the field and learn from your Tulsa Roughnecks. It's going to be so much fun. Plus, at 4:30, the Roughnecks rally is going on. If you guys didn't get out here to get that today, get here next weekend. Face painting, balloon artists, bounce house for the kids, food and drinks, all sorts of fun stuff. Get here early for next Saturday's match right here at One Oak Field. All right, Roughnecks Nation, it's almost time for that t-shirt toss, but remember to get loud this whole second half, and let's cheer on your Roughnecks.
Fans, concessions will stop serving alcohol at the 80th minute of tonight's match. Please plan accordingly, and thank you for your cooperation. The Roughnecks once again thank Hillcrest Healthcare System, 2 Works for You, and 1069 K-Hits for sponsoring tonight's match. The Roughnecks are proud to have these fine sponsors helping us out, helping us put on tonight's 2016 season opener for the Tulsa Roughnecks. Thanks again to Hillcrest Healthcare System, 2 Works for You, and 106.9 K-Hits. Roughnecks fans, get on your feet and get loud. It's time for the Mark Miller Buick GMC T-shirt toss.
That's right, Roughnecks Nation, let's hear you guys. Who wants one of these brand new Paint Tulsa orange T-shirts? We gotta hear you. You gotta get up and you gotta get loud. Oh, that was right in the tunnel there. Come on, keep it going here. Come on, we gotta hear you guys. We got some more, keep it going. Come on, what about over here? We got a couple left, we got a couple left. Come on, Orange, let's hear you guys. Last one, who wants it right here? Oh, I know you guys get louder than that. I've been hearing you all night long. Come on now. I gotta go right back over this way. That T-shirt toss was brought to you by our good friends over at Mark Miller Buick GMC. Be sure to visit them for all your new and used car needs.
Oklahoma is proud to support the Tulsa Roughnecks in their second year of bringing professional soccer back to Tulsa. Jeremy Poplin, Dave Saunders with you. The Roughnecks leading 1-0 at halftime as we get set to get back underway. The goal in the 33rd minute from David Abador. Quickly, let's look at the statistics from the first half. Roughnecks with the 1-0 lead. Shots on goal favor Rio Grande Valley 11-8. Or excuse me, those are just shots in general. Shots on goal are tied at 4 apiece. 3 corner kicks for the Toros, along with 4 fouls committed. They have not had anyone booked on the evening. Tulsa has had 1 booking, that is our goal scorer, David Abador, who was booked at the 30th minute. 4 fouls on the Roughnecks and 2 corner kicks. And again, 8 shots and 4 of those on goal for the Roughnecks, and 1 goal coming from Abador. Make plans to be at One Oak Field on Saturday, April 23rd, when the Roughnecks host the Portland Timbers 2. It's News on 6 night with the first 1,500 fans receiving Brady Ballou St. Brady t-shirts from the News on 6 and a Kotal. We are almost set for the kickoff with Ochoa and Martinez. Carlos Martinez, 17 matches last season for Sacramento. Played in 3rd tier in Germany as well. How about that shot of downtown Tulsa? High atop One Oak Field.
Wonderful to see all the kids running around at halftime on the grass in their soccer shirts from all over the world, and some Roughneck shirts. Wonderful to see soccer here in downtown Tulsa.
Here's Martinez. Martinez lets it go from the outside, and a fantastic goal to open up the second half. What a shot!
I can't think that we've had 20 seconds. Well, there you go. It was 12 seconds into the second half, Bob, when Martinez just really thundered the ball, a half volley, not an easy skill at all, and it gave the keeper Perales absolutely no chance. And I can say it now, I was just going to say to you, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could have a second goal early on in the second half to settle us down? Well, all right, it took them 12 seconds. 2-0, perfect start to the second half.
Carlos Martinez with the beautiful volley and the finish. And the Roughnecks now leading 2-0 in the opening weekend of the USL season here in 2016.
I hope people weren't too late back to their seats, as we say, queuing up for their hot dogs and beer, because that was a wonderful goal. Of course, you can see it all on YouTube later if you want to anyway, again, but a wonderful strike.
And here comes Rio Grande Valley to the opposite end. Laid out of the danger area for a brief moment, but Bird now with a shot, and that one's deflected and finally cleared away by the Roughnecks.
Now the coach will want the next 10 minutes to be absolutely watertight at the back. Give nothing away, not even a shot. That's what he'll be wanting his players now at 2-0 up.
And this will be a big test, because that is one area where the Roughnecks were not very good last season in being able to protect leads. As a matter of fact, a number of opportunities last year went by the wayside because of goals that were scored almost immediately after the Roughnecks have scored. There's another look at the shot as we are back to live action. As Ochoa on the opposite side, there's the replay to the opposite side. Perales had no chance in the world to get to that one.
I'm telling you, Pop, you've played the game. That is a difficult skill to half volley the ball from that far out with that control. That is a special goal. Now, one of the Roughnecks players has gone down there off the ball. I think it's Pellegrino, but the referee's playing on.
It is Pellegrino who is down. Referee does say play on, and we'll see if Rio Grande Valley. Now keep in mind, Rio Grande Valley, and finally the referee will stop play. I was wondering there if Rio Grande Valley was going to give the ball away and play it out of the field of play for a moment, but you got to keep in mind the first goal that was scored by the Roughnecks, and Pellegrino is still down. He is holding the front of his head.
Well, I can't believe that anything malicious went on there. I was sort of caught it out of the corner of my eye, but Pellegrino stayed down, and as you say, he's holding his face, and we hope he's going to be okay. It was an off-the-ball incident.
Athletic trainer Kobe Smith there.
Yeah, we need the
Pellegrino tried to roll over for a moment, and Kobe, one of the best in the business, tells Adriano that you need to lie still for just a moment. Let me check you out. Hold still as Pellegrino is down, and what an opening moment. 12 seconds in for the Roughnecks, and the strike from Carlos Martinez.
And there's the coach, Mr. Cabrera, just saying to the fourth official, well, how is that different from the player that we had down when the Roughnecks scored the goal? And so his arms open wide saying, you know, how is that any different? I think it is a lot different, I have to say. We've discussed it already. And thankfully, Pellegrino is okay. He's going across now. He'll have to come off the field and then come back on, but he's the kind of man you want in your team for 90 minutes in that midfield.
And Cabrera, former Colombian defender,
Well,
was the last head coach at Chivas USA in Major League Soccer, and he's been an assistant with the Rapids. He's been with the U.S. under-17 national team. I mean, his resume is quite lengthy.
I have a different twang to the Australian Pellegrino, but I can lip read what he said to the fourth official. He said, that was right in front of you. Didn't you see it? It was an elbow. So, well, and he's just thundered into a challenge there and got away with it. So Pellegrino's wide on the left there.
And they just missed him because he was all alone in space, and they tried to go in over the top in the centrally played ball to Brady Ballou, to St. Brady, as the roustabouts, the supporter group refers to him as. There's a header in the back from Anthony Peters, settled there in the center of the pitch. That's Ward there who had it. And this one will skip across the opposite side of the 18-yard box and out of play in front of Chinarazu.
Well, Roughnecks, you would say, totally in control. We're hoping for a quiet half for Alex Mangles in the Roughnecks goal, and I'm sure David Irving would have said at half-time in the locker room, look, go out there, we need a second goal to settle us all down, and he got exactly that with a wonder strike from Martinez.
Pellegrino plays this one out of play near midfield. A quick throw in now for Rio Grande Valley. It will work from the back. It's Garcia.
I hope I'm wrong, Pop, but I know it's the opening day of this season, but you'll go a long way to see a better goal than that this season, I think, Martinez. But I hope I'm wrong, because I'm hoping we'll see lots more like that.
I think
but it
you're
really
exactly right.
It was a great strike, wasn't it?
It reminded us a lot, and for any Roughneck fan that might be watching, it reminded me of that great strike from Eli last season, almost in the exact same area.
It really was. We saw that on the highlights on the big screen as Samir Joe wins a corner for the Roughnecks. Yeah, we saw that in the highlights on the big screen. It was, you're right, a great strike and right in front of those fans. But I have to say, they're at both ends tonight, which is great to see, isn't it? The orange of the Roughneck fans.
Here's Pellegrino to take this corner.
Yeah, he's recovered it okay, hasn't he? We'll give you our Twitter handles. Do you still say, Pop? I've lost the word. Twitter handles. Oh, there you go. We'll give you those in a minute. We'd love you to get in contact.
Pellegrino to the opposite side. Abador gave a little shove there to create some space for himself right as the ball was coming in, and picks up a foul inside the box. And Morales now will get set to put this one in play. Yeah,
we said last season it was so great to hear from people all around the world, you know, listening to this broadcast. So if you'd like to send us a tweet, it's at Jeremy Poplin, Jeremy with IE at the end, and mine is at Dave Saunders 63. We'd love to read your tweets out, especially where are you listening from? Are you in downtown Tulsa but you just couldn't get here because you're working? Send us a tweet. Or are you in the UK or wherever you might be? We'd love to hear from you.
There's a wasted opportunity there for Rio Grande Valley off of the foul there in the center of the pitch. There's a foul from Pellegrino on Kadich. Kadich was smarting a bit after that. There's a long ball forward from Mangles, trying to link up with Kaleem. Ochoa now to Martinez, the goal scorer. Elects to dump this one all the way back inside the Roughnecks box.
David
Start
likes to
from the
make,
back.
excuse me, Pop, David likes to make a change, doesn't he, around the hour, the 65 mark, and you look at the bench, it's a very, very strong bench for the Roughnecks tonight. Jake Feener, of course, the goalkeeper. Then you've got Davron, Taylor Morgan, the Englishman, Balubi, Christian Mudder, we talked about him, Carpio, who we're excited to see. As a shot comes in.
Pellegrino.
Yeah.
Pellegrino saw that Perales was off of his line for a brief moment. It was not on target, and Pellegrino took a big shot at the end of that. He hops up, hobbling a bit.
Yeah, he's certainly in a battle, isn't he? He's just grimacing there. I should say also Mason Grimes was the other one I didn't read out there on the bench. So strong bench for the Roughnecks. Good competition for places already.
Kastner just missed on that touch for Rio Grande Valley. Here's Ballou. Brady's been a bit quiet here this evening. Overlapping run. Generazzo unable to handle it.
We didn't see that too much in the first half, did we?
not.
Generazzo, and so that's encouraging to see. 2-0 up, and they're still willing to do that. Well, Brady Ballou's going to get a card here, which I think is, I'm not sure that's right. That's just a soft thing. He just stuck his leg out. The ball was kicked away. The referee's saying it's time wasting. But anyway, our referee, Mr. Lara, says that will be a card for Mr. Brady Ballou.
You can see Sammy Ochoa, the captain, coming over to have a brief word as Brady is booked here in the 55th minute. That's 2 yellow cards this evening for the Roughnecks.
Abidor was the other one, wasn't he?
Yes, Kai Green to Garcia. Garcia almost pushed that one out in front of himself a little bit too far, but still able to maintain here with TJ Kastner to the opposite side. Bourgeois settles. A shot directly at Mangles, and Mangles one more time protecting that near post. That's twice we've seen that this evening.
Yeah, one at each end. You're spot on, Pop, and that again is a difficult skill for goalkeepers. Not only do you have to save the ball, but then to actually control it as well. That's an amazing piece of goalkeeping, and well done to Mr. Ryan Ego, who is the goalkeeping coach, who's obviously been working with Mangles at his near post. And of course, no goalkeeper wants to be beaten at their near post. That's an offside.
No, they do not. Unfortunately, that did happen a handful of times last season. And here tonight, Alex has been up to the charge. Roughnecks, you can see in the background, the subs warming up. And as we mentioned, David Irving typically in the next 10 minutes is when he likes to go to the bench. Hey, don't forget, you can become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive news and interactive content. Here's Bird. Just by Pellegrino. Up towards midfield. Ball given back to Bird. Bird turns. Working against Lee. Watley just there. Got a piece of it. Hunter to the outside. Pellegrino steps in front. Plays forward for Ochoa. Almost near midfield. Working against one defender is Sammy Ochoa. Pellegrino was the only Roughnecks player there within the area, and really the only place that Sammy could go with the ball. Now look at that hustle. Wins it back, plays it off at the back of one of the midfielders from Rio Grande Valley.
Roughnecks really working hard, as you saw there, led by their captain Sammy Ochoa, and they're not afraid to go back and then forward again. That was a long ball from Peters, which is given away slightly, but they're working really hard for the cause here. 2-0 up.
To the opposite side now for Rio Grande Valley. Ball given away there at midfield. Lee steps in front, finds Ochoa. Ochoa's got some space inside the 18. Defender does his best to cut him off and cuts down the angle away from Sammy Ochoa. Sammy was using his strength there, but a good bit of defending from Kai Green to keep it off of the boot of Sammy Ochoa.
Yeah, Green did well. It's good defending there. Ochoa, you don't want him coming at you there, running into the box, and Green did well, but it is going to be a work corner. Pellegrino bouncing the ball 6 times, so presumably that means something from the right-hand side. Here it is.
They'll go short. Ochoa Back to Pellegrino. That's off of Bird. And now a throw-in for Roughnecks FC.
And a couple of tweets have come in, which we'll tell you about in a minute.
There's Lee with the throw-in, looking for Ochoa. Green stepped in front of Sammy. Lee tried to turn there to go back down the touchline and then knocked away. And here comes Rio Grande Valley. Bit of pace and knocked down from behind, taken off the ball. Referee says play on. And great defending there as Watley pushes forward and then given back away. Pellegrino is trying to cheat forward, and look at him hustle, get back. Here's a good ball that's down the far touchline. Bourgeois towards the byline and played off of Lee, and this will be a corner now for the Toros here in the 60th minute with the Roughnecks leading 2-0.
Good defending from Lee, but just before that, don't you love that sight of Pellegrino, who is basically a central midfield player, breaking down that left-hand side. It really is quite difficult for the defending side. And well defended on the corner there, Roughnecks. Brady Ballou getting the last touch away there.
Here's Kaleem. From the center of the pitch to the opposite side. Lee cutting down there. There's a ball played at an angle through the 18-yard box and out the opposite side.
Couple of tweets. Andrew says, listening from South Padre Island, Texas. I hope I've got that right in my pronunciation, Andrew. Thank you so much for getting in contact. And also Mark Carson, who is a fellow broadcaster, Pop, enjoying the call from Las Vegas. Top class work from a fellow broadcaster. We love your tweets at Dave Saunders 63 or at Jeremy Popley. We'd love to hear from you.
We also heard from Generatsu's former club, Spartans FC. On the Twitter feed as well. From midfield inside the center circle, Rodriguez turns, face up against Peters, leaves it off. That's a good ball that's played in. Mangles comes off of his line, gets a piece of it, and that one skips outside of the box. Oh, Mangles has been on point here this evening. Still, though, not out of the danger area. Nice turn, played directly at Mangles. And the shot comes in from Rodriguez, who played it right at Alex. And Alex has had a big opening night. You see there 4 career clean sheets for Mangles at Cal Berkeley. 74% save percentage as well while he was playing for the Bears.
Well, it's he's had a great night, and it's a la Jake Fina last season, isn't it, when he took over from Zach Lubin.
Here's Sammy Ochoa, leaves back for Brady Ballou. Played into the inside, it's there almost. Ooh.
Wow, that was wonderful from Pellegrino. He's everywhere, isn't he? He's literally in
everywhere.
the goal at the moment.
Yes.
The referee said it came off a defender. Defender was not pleased, but Pellegrino will go out from the goal now, go across to the far side, and this will be another corner. We'll see if he bounces the ball, which might mean it's a short corner. What's he going to do? No, he's just going to place it this time, so it'll be an in-swinger from the right foot.
Lots of options for you on social media. Check out at USL Soccer on Instagram to see match highlights and action shots from games around the USL.
Good defense there from Rio Grande, but it means that Generazzo can just slow things down and take a throw-in some, 10 yards up the right-hand side inside the Rio Grande half. Pellegrino's just everywhere at the moment. He wants to be on the ball. He's not going to stop running.
And we talked about that dynamic coming off of having a player like Chad Bond last season, who's now in St. Louis, and moving towards that combination there with Martinez and Pellegrino in the middle. It's a completely different look from what we're used to seeing from last season.
It really is. And, you know, I know it'd be maybe early to say, but 2-0 up, and they're harder to break down, I think, the Roughnecks now. I think David Irvin is just putting in a change here to the fourth official. So we're going to see our first substitution in a minute. But they've all got their role to play tonight, Pop.
Abidor able to step in front to knock that one away. This one's going to be too far in front of Sammy. Back to Perales. Quickly he'll go. From midfield.
It's quite an interchangeable formation for the Roughnecks. Certainly the back four and Abidor, you know, they're pretty much set, but then it's quite fluid in the midfield with the likes of Kaleem and Pellegrino and Martinez supporting the number 9, Sammy Ochoa.
I will say this for Bourgeois, the former University of Tulsa star. He is great on the ball, so strong, great first touch. He is going to be one heck of a player. Into the box, and the slow dribbler there from Bird at Mangles. Really no danger there from Bird on Mangles whatsoever. And now he has it, and we'll play this one long. Just in front of Brady. There's Peters over the back of, I believe that was Kadich. And you can see things starting to open up a little bit more now for Rio Grande Valley. Good save there from Bird to keep that one in play, and then off of the defender.
Yeah, intelligent play from Bird. He was running out of pitch very, very quickly, and whilst he fell over out of bounds, he played a good ball back.
We'll have our first sub of the evening, and this is a young man that's getting ready to come on that everyone in this organization is extremely excited about. That's Jason Ramos Carpio. Will be making his first appearance.
But probably not until, well, it is while the corner's being taken. Is it Brady Ballew's gone off there?
It is Brady. So Jason. This one short towards the front post, knocked out, and will result in a goal kick now for the Roughnecks.
The corner taker just slipped there in that far corner. You and I had a walk round, Pop, didn't we? And it's turf down there, isn't it, rather than grass in that corner. And maybe he just slipped as he took the corner there. Brady Ballew had a reasonable first game. You know, an exciting player for the Roughnecks. And we'll just see how they're lining up. I think Kaleem has come to this right-hand side and Carpio will go to the left with Sammy Ochoa up front. Still Martinez and Pellegrino, and the deep midfielder David Abidor.
Carpio's the 20-year-old from Guatemala. He was signed at the Combine, or that's where the Roughnecks first saw him, as Mangles comes out to play this one out, allows the defense a moment to reset. We'll have another sub coming up now, this time for Rio Grande Valley.
Well, how about this? Jonathan has said, watching from Philly, moving to Tulsa this summer, so I'm getting a head start. Well, welcome to the family, Jonathan. Be great to see you. Come and support the Roughnecks. It is a family, it really is. And this is a good start from them. Thank you for your tweet.
We'll get you the details on the sub coming up here in just one moment. Malky that came on for Kastner. Pellegrino. Long ball to the corner. Can Sammy get there in time? No, he cannot. A bit too heavy there from Pellegrino.
Well, here's one for you, my friend. Roger is saying he's watching the live feed from Houston. Top class commentating. Well done, Pop, and we appreciate Pop very much. He's going to be on the road again this season, and I become a fan when I'm not able to be there. And Pop, we appreciate it, and it's going to be a great season.
Love Houston. One of my favorite cities to visit. Called many high school football games in the Houston market. Kincaid, St. John's on the private school. SPC Conference. Pellegrino. There's Carpio giving chase. Carpio in the friendly last week against FC Wichita had a great assist. Or one great assist. Scored several goals on the trip to Florida for the Roughnecks to open up the season.
Oh, that's a wonderful piece of skill from Raymond Lee.
Raymond Lee.
You love to see things like that. Maybe the coach would say, a little bit further up the field, please, Raymond. But he certainly did the midfield player there well and truly.
We also need to say that this great sport, there's a ball and a header directly from Bird at Mangles. Oh, one more opportunity gone by the wayside for Rio Grande Valley. And Bird has come to life here in the second half. He has been a handful for the Roughnecks. And as I was mentioning before, this sport lost one of the greats earlier this week. And Dave Saunders, you can probably speak to this individual more than I can, but the impact that Johan had on this sport was tremendous.
Yeah, Johan Cruyff, an absolute legend of the game. Many people saying that he changed the face of soccer. I'll just go to the commentary and we'll come back to him in a minute.
There's Bourgeois. Bourgeois cuts back to the inside from the byline, leaves it towards the 18. A turn there, two defenders there to knock it away. And the Roughnecks will play this one out of the field of play, directly in front of the Toros bench. And we'll have one chance to look at it here on the replay. And this was the header from Bird, played directly at Alex.
That was good defending. That was Abidor there.
Off of the deflection. To the outside, just saved in front there by Hunter. Hunter now through one defender, through another defender, and then has a go from just outside the 6-yard box. And you can see Mangles now barking orders.
Well, he got past two defenders, but he wasn't going to get past Mr. Watley, who threw himself in front of that and chested it away for a corner. Good play from him, but a little bit of slack defending there. Got to keep concentrating it. 2-0 up with 20 minutes to go.
In the 71st minute, Mangles comes out, bobbles that one for a moment. It was free and then had to hop on top of it and still unable to get there to it. Still saved in, played in towards the center of the box and then knocked away.
Yeah, bar of soap time there, wasn't it? He just got it and then let it from his grip. And Roughneck survived. Good defending again.
Garcia had to get rid of that one quickly. Kaleem's just been one step behind a couple of times here tonight. It's close, being able to get that boot in to steal one away.
Quite an open game now, isn't it? And Roughnecks having to sit in again here.
Bourgeois on loan. Such a fantastic career at the University of Tulsa.
Just coming back to the legend Johan Cruyff, who sadly passed away. He managed Barcelona, of course. His son Jordi played for Manchester United briefly, but Cruyff, there aren't many people that can say that they changed world soccer, and he certainly did. I remember as a teenager watching him in the 70s playing for Holland. He played in 2 World Cup finals, and there's going to be another yellow card, but he never won the World Cup, sadly. But not many players can say they've got a turn named after him. Of course, the Cruyff turn made famous against Italy back in the 70s. A real legend, and a very sad loss to this wonderful game of football that, of course, is so worldwide now, but he's done so much for the game. and he lost his battle with cancer in the end. But a wonderful player to watch, and just one of those players that, you know, came up doing different things that you wouldn't expect him to do, and a really good midfield or attacking midfielder in the modern game. I always think it would have been fantastic if you see these players from the 70s, how they would have fared in the modern game. I'm sure he's one of those that could have adapted to any formation.
Had to learn the Cruyff at the number of Corver camps that I attended in my youth. That was one of the first moves that you would learn when you would go to camp, was the Cruyff. And we do want to thank everyone that's tuning in here this evening. Remember, all USL matches are available live, free, and in HD on YouTube. You can follow the action on the USL YouTube channel. And Bird was booked here in the 73rd for Rio Grande Valley, and Abador has to come off for a moment as Kobe Smith, the athletic trainer, was out to make sure that David was okay.
More tweets, Pops. Someone said they're watching the game on their iPad in, I think, is it Nixa, Missouri? Excuse my ignorance here. Grew up watching
Nixa.
Oh, I was pretty close. Grew up watching Kaski, Abrahams, Darfed, I Need Glasses, and Moreland. Love the Roughnecks. Thank you from that. That is
Billy Kaski.
Yeah, Sly Fox. And Jerry Garcia, welcome to you as well. You are supporting Rio Grande tonight from the home of Rio Grande, which is Edinburgh, Texas. So well done to you. Thank you. At Dave Saunders 63 or at Jeremy Poplin, we'd love to hear from you, and we enjoy doing this so much. And it's great to have people from all over this country and further internationally tweeting in.
And speaking of Twitter, you can also follow at USL on Twitter to keep up with all the live action during the 2016 USL season. '76th minute with the Roughnecks leading 2-0. Oh, nice ball in. Mangles has got to come out and made his decision quickly. And that was a nice run that was made from the substitute, Malky, who came on. Mangles forward for Sammy. That's what makes Sammy so great, so strong, working against those defenders. Typically gets at least a touch on it.
Yeah, and then chased the lad to the right-hand side and forced him to play a long ball. Roughnecks had it back temporarily, but that's a good threaded ball from Rio Grande.
Run played in, Mangles.
Yeah, brave goalkeeping.
Mangles has had a heck of a game here this evening, just in front of Kadich. USLsoccer.com. Keep up to date with USL all season long by visiting the new USLsoccer.com for everything you need to know about the USL and its 29 teams.
Chinaratsu with a good ball there.
Kaleem. Oh, nice work from Kaleem, able to save it. Working against the defender here along the wing. We'll play it back to Chinaratsu. Ball in towards the penalty area. A little bump from behind as Ochoa tried to sell it. Martinez saves it. Nice little give there from Abador to Sammy, who's in offsides position. That's why he just stood there, and they got Carpio on the opposite side.
Thomas B says, enjoying the match in Dallas live on the stream. Moved from Tulsa to Dallas. The first of the year, meaning the game, of course. Good work. So thank you, Thomas, for that.
Peters with the clearance. This one all the way back to the 18 inside the box.
Good defensive clearance there. Head to your local Green County Chevy dealer and take home the new face of Strong, the 2016 Silverado 1500.
Bourgeois camping up there on the outside. Good ball in. Mangles picks that one out of the air.
Well, there's the advantage, if you like, of having a very tall goalkeeper. 6'3" Alex Mangles there, coming out, plucking that one out of the night sky, keeping a clean sheet. Roughnecks now, 13 minutes to go, still 2-0 up.
Now was directly in front of Kyle Murphy. Here's Ochoa one more time. Just that pressure now has forced the throw in, and we'll have more subs coming in for the Tulsa side. And who will it be this time? We're going to see Morgan. Morgan will be one of the subs. And first, we're going to see Balobi.
Yeah, Balobi.
In for David Abador.
David Abador has done a great defensive job tonight. At times, it's unspectacular. You don't get all the plaudits. He probably won't get the man of the match. But he did really well as that shield in front of those two centre-backs. Well done to Abador.
And now, Sammy Ochoa.
Well, Sammy's worked hard, hasn't he, tonight, and he deserves the rest for the last 12 minutes. I'm sure, knowing Sammy, he won't want to come off, but he's worked really, really hard, and he's going to give the captain's armband to Anthony Peters.
Now, Sammy, the crafty veteran, as you can see the referee giving the hurry-up signal. Sammy will take all the time in the world to make his way over to the bench. And our first look at Taylor Morgan, the big 6'5" forward.
Yep, Taylor Morgan, fellow Englishman.
And there he is with an opportunity early as that one slipped by his side. Some of the young fans here in the stands at One Oak Field.
Quick story about Morgan, of course, as I said, fellow Englishman. He's an Arsenal fan, which obviously helps me out, Pop, so that's good. I'm sure he likes a nice cup of tea as well. But he used to go and watch QPR, Queen's Park Rangers, there in West London. And his dad and his brother still have season tickets at Loftus Road, Queen's Park Rangers.
I've always wanted to go watch a game at Queen's Park.
Very, very tight. The fans are right on top of the pitch. It really is one of those old-fashioned stadiums there in West London, Shepherd's Bush, to be precise.
Good defending there. Unlucky.
Currently playing in the Championship, having been relegated from the Premiership, but I'm sure they'll be back again. Famous old club.
Nike's a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike soccer information. Blitz United 05, part of the Ball Kids here this evening for the Roughnecks. And this is that danger zone time now for Tulsa. They have to be careful not to allow one here. Pellegrino is arguing here.
Well, Pellegrino has got a yellow card there, Pop, and he's got to be careful because he was upsetting the referee there by delaying tactics. So we don't want too many of those silly yellow cards for Pellegrino because he's going to get he's going to get a few with his tackling,
yes,
you know, in the season.
As active as he is, you're exactly right.
He's smiling now, but what is it? 5 yellow cards and you miss a game, is it?
Here's the service towards the back post. Save there. Danger spot. And the clearance all the way past the halfway point and will bounce out on the opposite side of the Roughnecks bench. There's David Irving barking out orders. Perales and Morgan gets in front of that one. I will say that Perales a couple of times this evening has been close to having that happen. Not exactly sure what David Irving is upset about.
Alongside Tommy Taylor there, both happy with the England result tonight. Have I mentioned that England beat Germany 3-2, Pop?
You mentioned it once. Rightfully so, being down 2-0.
Yeah, still some work to do defensively, I would say. And I'm sure the Roughnecks would have said that coming into this season, but they've been very good at the back tonight and good all-round performance. They need to see out this last 8 minutes now, come away with a victory and a clean sheet.
In the 83rd. Hunter to Garcia. Now for Ward. Bourgeois heels on the touch, settles with the chest. Unfortunate pass there, and they throw in now for Rio Grande Valley. Quickly they go. See if they can at least draw within 1 goal here in the final moments at One Oak.
Still OKC a goal down at home to Colorado.
Clean not able to get to that one from Peters. Rodriguez. Oh, there's a misplay there from Peters. Mangles comes all the way out, and that shot will just slip by the far side of the post. Well, and Peters is going back now to explain himself to Mangles, and a missed opportunity there for Kadich.
Yeah, I think Mangles, to be fair, came out and just put Kadich off enough for him to fire that shot wide there, as you can see on the replay. But Peters
he got
is
that left boot up, didn't he?
Yeah, and Peters is holding his hand up and saying that was totally my error, but they got away with it.
Service from the corner, back outside the 18. One at Mangles. Mangles there one more time. Boy, that took a dangerous hop directly in front of Alex. And like he has so many times this evening, has come away with the clean sheet so far.
One of those that could have really been embarrassing for goalkeepers, but he got his body behind it, and I think we're seeing the benefits again. I'm going to mention him again. Ryan Ego as the goalkeeping coach. There's going to be a substitution, and I think Irla Davrolan, if my eyes do not deceive me, Pop will be entering the fray.
Good to see Dav back in action. This will be for Martinez. And Irla Davrolan, one of the veterans from this squad from last season, one of my favorite players, former Sligo Rover.
Yeah, he's a great player to have coming on at this stage. 5 minutes to go, plus the board.
Nike, a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Our first time to really see Dav play centrally.
Yeah. Normally he's flying up that left-hand side or defensively coming in at left back, but he's been given a job to do by his coach, and I'm sure he's going to do it. He's in the middle there with Pellegrino.
Nice to have a veteran come in to be able to help close this one out. Bourgeois working against Lee.
I'm just saying, credit Bourgeois. He hasn't stopped going up that right-hand side.
He has not. Oh, nice move from Bourgeois. Gets past Lee. And then unable to thread the needle on the ball. And you can see why they're so excited about him. I mean, the 4-year letter winner at Tulsa. Played with Christian Mata, by the way. 3-time TU Defensive Player of the Year. 7 goals, 8 assists. In 81 games, he started all 81 games for the University of Tulsa.
And he was upset there that the throw-in went to the Roughnecks.
He's been with the academy since '09 with the U16s.
Well, I think it's showing I alluded to it earlier that Roughnecks had a very strong bench tonight, and David Irvin has made some intelligent substitutions, and it just shows you the strength they've got this season. That's a good ball in, but Mangles should take that one, and does. And now it's 4 minutes plus any stoppages the referee chooses to add on.
Well, let's talk about this debut from Alex Mangles.
Well, he must be in double figures with saves, I think, or close to. And I say again, it's almost symmetry from last season when Jake Feener came in and made his debut, taken over from Zach Lubin. Here's the attack from the Roughnecks.
Generazzo. And Carpio just a step behind.
But he's been, you don't want to tempt fate with the last few minutes, but he's got behind everything solidly. He's made 2 good saves at his near post, one in the first half, one in the second. He's helped out his defense. Here's a shot. Here's a save.
Another one from Mangles
and
to keep the Toros off the board.
And he's done the simple things well as well. I say simple. It's not easy when you've got big people like Kadich coming at you, but he's plucked things out of the air very nicely tonight.
And that was Rodriguez, who with the pullback, was able to use the right. I believe this is going to be a handball. Almost dead center. So not out of the danger area yet in the 88th minute. Roughnecks leading 2-0. Trying to hang on to get 3 valuable points here in the opening weekend.
Just a little bit of defending to do if Rio Grande were to get a goal here. Been interesting injury time.
Rodriguez. Oh, off the post.
Well,
3 times this evening, the Roughnecks have been saved by the woodwork.
I think it did take a slight deflection off someone. That might prove to be an important touch from one of the Roughnecks players. But like you say, Pop, the 3rd time you have to feel a little bit sorry for Rio Grande tonight.
Oh, great ball from Davorin, and unfortunately Morgan is going to be called off.
I thought that was a slightly strange one. I thought he timed his run really well there, actually. But who are we to say? The linesman, Brooke Weiss, is right in line, and he raised his flag offside for the Englishman. And the Roughnecks just need to see out the last minute of the 90, and then I would suggest to you, Pop, you're normally better than me at this, but I would suggest no more than 3 minutes to be added on.
I was just going to say 3.
That's good defensive work.
And played out of the area. Morgan giving chase. Unable to get there. Throw from Garcia. And Ward will look for Bourgeois. Carpio. Bourgeois, ball played towards the corner. Lee is there as the defender. And the assistant says corner. That was Rodriguez.
Just a little bit more defending to do. They're just leaving Martinez up.
The blast and the deflection.
That's a great block. And there's going to be 4. We were 1 minute out, Pop. 4 to be added on.
I think that was Balobi with the block.
And a great block it was too.
Don't forget all the social media. Check out at USL Soccer on Instagram to see match highlights and action shots from games around the USL. Tonight's attendance, by the way, here at One Oak, as we will have another sub. 5,328 on opening night here at One Oak Field.
Very good, very good. And if you weren't able to come down for whatever reason tonight, and you can, the next game is next Saturday, of course, the 2nd, isn't it, Pop, against Swope Park Rangers.
Swope Park Rangers, who are in action tonight.
Brave goalkeeping again from Mangles, and took out his own defender as well.
The timing tonight from Mangles has been almost perfect. There has been 0 hesitation from him at all, as Watley and Peters and Lee, 3 of the defenders here this evening for the Roughnecks. It was just miscommunication there on the corner.
Yeah, I mean, it's and credit the coach as well. The coach has said, okay, you're the man that I wanted for my first game, having, you know, played some of the, 8 or 9 preseason games.
Yes.
You're the man who's going to start us off. Fair play to David Irvin. You know, you live and die by your decisions, and he's made a great decision. Alex Mangles, well done, and he could well get man of the match tonight.
And of course, all the games on YouTube.
And there's a man who's had a good game. The Welshman, Watley at the back, hasn't put a foot wrong tonight. Good signing again.
Live, free, and in HD on YouTube. You can follow the action on the USL YouTube channel all season long. Quarter played in. That's dangerous. That was free in the box for a moment. Finally cleared away. And with the 4 minutes added, I will say this, Dave, is here comes Morgan. He's got Carpio. Carpio with a chance here. Touches to the side. Can he finish? Pulls back and puts it in.
No, he's hit the side
Oh,
netting.
he hit the side netting.
Wow.
Oh, my goodness, from this angle.
Carpio.
Oh, that's Colleen.
It's Kalim, you're right. They look very similar. He will say by his own standards he should have scored the third goal there, but he's got a corner.
Oh, my goodness.
And that should see it out. But it was a great ball from Morgan to put him in. He was one-on-one, a slightly heavy touch. Keeper came out. He went round the keeper and then just tried to trick the defender by taking one more touch.
And from the angle that we're at right here on the back side of the post, that looked like that it was in, but you're right, it did hit the side netting.
There were a few supporters up. There were a few up here in the press box that were up, but it was into the side netting, and I got it from the referee, who was immediately pointing to the corner. Here it is again, out. Slightly heavy touch there. Maybe should have shot. Commits the defender, and then the other defender was able to get back. But it didn't matter, Pop. In the end, the referee brings proceedings to an end, and that is a great win for the Roughnecks. And thanks to Alex Mangles and the defense, a clean sheet.
So the Roughnecks will walk away with 3 points here in the opening weekend over a very impressive expansion side in Rio Grande Valley. That's the one thing that I will take away from this. Having been in this league now, and this being year number 2, this is maybe one of the more impressive expansion sides in an opening weekend game that we saw all of last year. This team is going to be a threat for the rest of the season, and they have everything to be proud of for this team that they've been able to build. They will continue to have people on loan and also the academy players. And if you're a fan of the Toros, buckle in, because we can attest this league is tremendously fun and talented, and you guys are going to be a threat the entire way through this entire opening year in USL for you guys. And thank you to all of you for tuning in that are fans of the Toros. And the Roughnecks will walk away with a 2-0 win. Goals from David Abador in the 33rd minute, and a goal from Carlos Martinez 12 seconds into the second half in the 46th minute. And the Roughnecks walk away with a 2-0 win as they will now gather here at midfield. Well, far different cry from how we opened up last season, and that's Alex Mangles' first professional match and a clean sheet.
Fans, stick
match.
around while the
That's
Roughnecks
not a
sign
bad way to
autographs.
start, is
Fans
it?
are invited to walk up
Fantastic
to the
for the
first
young man,
rows of the seating
fantastic for
areas
the
for a
coach.
chance to meet and get signatures from the
all
Roughnecks.
of his new signings have done really, really well, and they showed a steel about them. You go back to the first 10 or 15 minutes, and I echo your words, by
The
the way,
Roughnecks
about
once
Rio
again
Grande.
would like to
They're
thank
gonna take
Hillcrest
points off
Healthcare
some good
System,
teams this
2
season
Works for You,
with the
and
skill they
1069
have. But,
K-Hits
you know,
for
the
sponsoring
Roughnecks
tonight's
weathered the
match.
storm for
The
first
Roughnecks are
15
proud to
minutes.
have
Hardly
these
got a
fine
touch of the ball.
sponsors helping us put on tonight's 2016 season opener. Thanks again to Hillcrest Healthcare System, 2 Works for You, and 1069 K-Hits. to send it down to Justin, who's with the Roustabouts, to name our Roustabouts man of the match. Justin, who is it?
All right, Jace, we got a good one down here tonight. We got our goalkeeper with the shutout, Alex Mengels. I got Jesse and Cody down here with me for the Roustabouts man of the match. Guys, let's talk to Alex here. Here you go.
All right, Alex, this was your first time playing in Tulsa. What was it like playing in front of this crowd tonight?
It was incredible, man. I could barely even hear myself talk. I could let alone think. And these fans were behind us the whole game, and it was awesome.
Once again, Alex, it's really good to have you in front of the goal for us tonight. And you got a clean sheet. And congratulations on man of the match.
We got the selfie going on right here. Let's give it up for Alex Mengels, the Roustabouts man of the match. Jesse and Cody out here with the Tulsa Soccer Show and the Roustabouts. Thank you guys, and thank you guys for coming out. Again, remember, the Roughnecks guys are going to come around, say hello, sign some autographs, and don't forget the official after party tonight. We're heading over to Lefty's. We want you guys to come over with us. It's an all-ages after party. Come on over, have some fun. They got food and drinks. They got drink specials going on. They got $1 off domestic drafts. So come on over. Plus, they got Roughneck 83s for $5 only. Make sure you guys come on over. Lefty's on Greenwood at the corner of Greenwood and Archer. All the players are coming out. The coaches are coming out. We want to continue the fun all night long. Thank you guys for coming out tonight, and we'll see you over at Lefty's.
Fans, thank you so much for attending opening night with the Tulsa Roughnecks FC. The next Roughnecks match will be...
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League may not be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent from the United Soccer League.